So I actually wrote High Yellow first, but I didn't know how to make it. So I was like, okay, I know how to make America's Pitbull. I just need a videographer. At the time, I'm not knowing its cinematography and all of this stuff. So
you have the same shooter from all your pieces, or
yeah.
who is it?
Adrian J. Martin. Yeah, Adrian J. Martin, bro. I love you, man. Like without him, none of the films happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so big shout out to him.
We have another Adrian. That's not
I saw you look at me. Not Adrian Javon. Shout out to Adrian.
Because I remember his first name being Adrian, and we just started shooting. Jai met this dope cinematographer and music artist, and now we've hired him to shoot some of our stuff for Mastermind, and he's really dope. But for a second there, I was like, wait, Romel had an Adrian as well. I forgot who
he goes by Adrian Javon now.
Wait, is that him?
That's probably
Does he have
him.
dreads?
Yes, that's
oh
my boy.
God, we're talking about the same guy.
Yeah. For a second, because I'm like looking back to that photo where you guys are like looking at the camera together or something. It's like one of your BTS joints.
That's him, Adrian Javon. I sorry if I said Adrian Javon Martin. I know his full name.
Okay,
he goes by Adrian Javon. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Wow. Hey, shout out to Adrian Javon. He's
shout out to him.
Touching everybody.
Love it.
Yeah,
man. One of the most talented individuals that I know, and like I always say, like without him, like people look at me and like, oh my gosh, you've done all these short films. I'm like, none of that happens without Adrian. Let's be very clear. You know what I mean? So he's been a partner. He's been a genius behind the camera. Like, you know, as far as his shot selections, like I come to him with an idea and he enhances it. So,
yeah, and that's our job as a director specifically. I remember, I don't know if we talked about this last time, but Tarantino went to the Sundance Lab with Reservoir Dogs. So he's there, and this is a story I think I heard him say. So he was there, and he went to one of the directors that was like, you know, helping out at the lab or whatever the case, or had their film at Sundance. And he's like, hey, like, how do I get what I have in my head on the screen? And then the guy told him, like, I forget who it was, but he told him, it's not your job to get what's in your head on the screen. Is your job to hire the right people that can execute the right vision on the screen. Right. And that comes down to even the score and the sound and the cinematography. So the art design, like there's so much stuff that goes into it. And you have this idea in your head, and then you hire the right people that can execute that, but not only execute, that can also enhance it to make you look like a fucking genius. Right. And but that's the thing, is like, that's why you want to look at somebody that can execute it, and they can, if they can prove based on their prior work that they can do it. Then you mitigate the risk of you doing something like trash on the screen. Like if you just pick up anybody, like, hey man, I know you never did a documentary, but like, let's see what we can do. I know you only do this, this, and this, but let's see what your version of this, it might work. Right. But if you go and you pick the dopest cinematographer you can find at your whatever rate of pay you can or collaboration, and they've already executed something and they execute it for you and then elevate it and put your own twist on it, then you have magic for sure. Yeah. And that's something that I learned that I had a skill set in. Like I understood, like I didn't know at the time, but looking back, I started to realize like, oh, I have the ability to like bring people together, and I have resources, and like I'm like, oh, I know how to produce. And I just learned that. I thought it was all common sense at first. I was like, okay, you do this, you do that, you get this person, like this person is good at this. Yeah, so you it. But then I'm like, oh, everybody doesn't have that ability to identify what people are good at. And I think I get that from basketball, being a point guard, knowing, okay, if this man is hot, keep feeding him the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to win. So it's like, okay, how do we assemble a team together so we can win? So if it's like, okay, if you're good at cinematography, you're good at sound, you're good at acting, you know what I'm saying? If you can portray this role, then let's all come together and make a film. So I credit my point guard experience to that. Sports, it's crazy how sports can relate to everything. I think sports might be like the key thing in my life too, where it's like learning how to lose and overcome loss and be a team player, and anything you can do is like, it's that life hack. Right. And that's why I think everybody should try at least a sport. Exactly. A sport and an instrument to get out there and see what you can make happen.